Good evening, everybody. If everybody could please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If everybody could remain standing for a brief moment of silence in honor of the troops who are fighting overseas in support and defense of our freedoms. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Okay. First thing on the agenda is to set the dates for the April meetings. The workshop will be Wednesday, March 27th at 7 p.m. and the board meeting will be Monday, April 1st at 7:30 p.m. And also, do we need to set a public hearing on the budget?
That's right. The meeting has to be by April the 15th. So.
But when this is for the
tentative budget.
But we have to adopt it.
Yeah, you have to have a public hearing.
No, I know. When were we going to do the public hearing? Do we have that on there? Is that what we're...
No, this is what I want to know. When do you want to have it, Mayor? Here's a calendar right here.
Do you have the budget timeline with you? No, let's get back to that after. I'll look up the budget timeline while we're here, and I'll figure out a date. Because we have to see what, I have to go back and look at the timeline. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, that's the day after Easter. I don't know if that's going to be a problem.
For what?
For the village board, I don't know if that's going to be a problem for anybody.
The day after Easter? Is that a problem for anyone?
No. Not for me.
Not for me.
A problem for you?
No.
Okay. We'll get back to that in a sec. Chief?
Is that a problem for you?
Yes, it is huge.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Fire Department has one item on the agenda tonight that I request you approve. It's the 2012 LoSAP program for the Fire Department.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We need to do a roll call, right? On LoSAP?
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay, fine. Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Let me get back to this on the budget. I have it here. So we did a slight revision to the budget timeline. Our treasurer, Mr. Zordan, had a little bit of foot surgery, minor surgery, so he's out for a few days. So the preliminary budget, which was to be posted this Friday, will now be posted by next Tuesday, just because Tom is not returning to work till tomorrow. So we're just going to finish that up and going to post it online again. Board members will have the opportunity for the duration of the week to make appointments with Tom and various department heads to discuss the budget. So once it's posted, we should set a public meeting sometime during March, okay, to take care of this. I also was going to ask the village board later in the agenda to have a special meeting where we can interview candidates for two positions that we're looking at, part-time building inspector and also recreation coordinator, as the public knows by now. Gail Curtin, who has served the village for 32 years, correct? 31 and a half years, will be retiring at the end of April. And while, as I say, we're not hiring Gail's replacement, because she cannot be replaced, but we will be hiring a successor. So we have candidates, and what I would like to do is schedule a board meeting where first we can offer the opportunity for these candidates to come in and talk to the board, and then we can convene a public hearing for the budget. So I guess we should look at, if I'm correct, the week, everyone want to look at the week of the 19th? 18th, sorry, the week of the 18th? Is anyone available on March 18th? This way we can have, sorry?
I'm not. I'm off.
This is our public hearing on the budget, and then we'll officially adopt it on April 1st. we'll have the
Monday.
vote.
Is the 18th a Monday?
Yes. Okay, does anyone,
Well, Kathy's off that week.
sorry?
Kathy's not here.
Okay, but we can,
Can we do it the following week?
no, well, we're gonna have, the following week is, Monday and Tuesday are Passover.
So
And we
wait.
have to have the public hearing and incorporate the public comments. It really needs to be the week of the latest is the week of the 18th, because we're gonna have the vote on the 1st, and obviously between the time we have the meeting and the vote, we want to take the public comments and incorporate them into the budget. So typically, we like to have like 2 weeks.
So then can we do it on the 20th?
Wednesday.
Does anybody have a problem with the 20th?
Yeah, I can do the 20th. Can anyone do Wednesday, the 20th?
We're talking in the evening, right?
Yes, of course. I would say Wednesday, the 20th. Let's do the budget hearing at 7:30, but could everyone come at 7 o'clock and we'll schedule interviews with the candidates for those positions?
Could we have more time to interview, do you think? Do you think that's what? 15?
How many candidates?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Half an hour doesn't seem like enough interview time if we were interviewing 3 or 4 or 5 candidates. So maybe 6:30 or something.
Yeah, an hour would be
Sure, you want
better.
to do 6:30?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, either that or do 7 and then 8 o'clock, the budget hearing.
Yeah, I think that's better.
That's
You
better,
want to do
right?
that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
do
so
that.
let's do 7 o'clock, Virginia, on the,
Something on the 20th. I know I do.
on Wednesday, the 20th,
Wednesday, the 20th?
7 o'clock. We'll call it a special board meeting.
Is this
And I
good?
think what we'll do is we'll convene the meeting. We can do that in the courtroom. And then if a board member makes a motion to go into executive session, if they so prefer, to discuss personnel. And then once that's complete, we can convene at 8 o'clock here for the budget hearing.
Yeah.
So if you could possibly please schedule a special meeting at 7 and then a budget hearing at 8 p.m. Okay, and we'll do that on Wednesday, the 20th.
Special meeting at 7.
Special meeting at, yes,
Budget hearing
at 8.
okay.
Okay, so 7, okay, perfect. Do that to 9. Okay? Good, thank you. So that will be great. And again, the budget, the preliminary budget will be posted online by Tuesday. On behalf of Tom, I apologize for his foot surgery, but he is recuperating.
When will Tom be available?
He's gonna be back tomorrow.
Oh, he will, okay, thank
So
you.
yeah, we have the remainder of the week and Monday if anyone wants to, the board members come in and talk about the budget. Pretty much where we are on our end is we're pretty much all set in terms of going over the expenses. We're now reviewing the revenue. So, the expenses are pretty set. Okay. Public hearing regarding, 2 minutes. So, culture and recreation.
2 minutes?
No, you have more than 2 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening, Gail.
Good evening, I'm sorry.
Hi, Gail.
Quite all right. Since the last village board meeting, we continue to work with AARP for the tax service on Tuesdays, and this will continue through April 9th at the LPL building from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. each Tuesday. There was a dare dance on Friday, February 15th, the farmers market on Saturday, February 23rd, senior movie afternoon on Thursday, February 28th, and lead this past Friday, March 1st. Upcoming, there's a dare dance Friday, March 8th, and I have Battery Saturday on your agenda, but as of this afternoon, it was changed to Not Just Batteries Saturday, with a really neat flyer that Kathy and I put on the website late this afternoon, if you get a chance to take a look at it. So that'll be in the parking lot of Village Hall this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Breakfast with the Bunny and Egg Hunt, Saturday, March 23rd, beginning at 9 a.m. And then we have a very special evening, which you and I talked about, and we're probably going to start posting on the website and on the bulletin boards tomorrow, and that is our opportunity to co-sponsor a concert with Talina Toscano, the young lady who is the village resident, who has grown up here at the pool, with the Brownies, with the Girl Scouts, still is involved in planting flowers every year outside Village Hall, and has an outstanding singing career that has taken off and is giving back to us. She has sang with us, as you know, on our Suffern days, and now there'll be a concert at the Community Center on Saturday, April 6th. Tickets will be available, by the way, and we'll be forwarding to you all of that information. Hopefully you can stop by. Under miscellaneous, I think the mayor already took care of the first item by setting a special meeting. Another special event that we're working on with a resident of the village is the donation of a monument in memory of the tragedy at Newtown, Connecticut. Luciaccio, myself, Dan McInerney have been working with this resident who would like to remain anonymous. All of the artwork is done. We're working with a monument company in Rockland County, and it will be placed, when it is ready, outside the community center in a very simple, tasteful manner. And we're in the process of finding a poem that is fitting, if there is something that's fitting for that event. And we have reached out, the mayor has sent a letter to the mayor, who's really called a select woman in Newtown, letting them know what we are doing, and of course inviting them anytime they want to visit that. Added to the calendar of dates that you approved a while back, we did get a request for Sunday, October 6th, for the Breast Cancer Awareness Fashion Show at the Community Center, which we talked about at the workshop. And then finally, I just wanted to mention to you that the 2013 summer calendar, trying to get that done faster than usual, and we are. So that should be out earlier than any other year for obvious reasons. And the same with the pool staff. We're working very diligently to try to put that together for you.
Excellent. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a public hearing regarding permits for tree removal.
Hey, this is a request that was made by the code enforcement officers. The law previously provided that a permit was required to remove a tree that was 12 inches at height, 12 inches in diameter at a height of 54 inches. That created enforcement problems, and so the request is that it be measured 12 inches diameter at a height of 4 inches above the ground.
Okay, does anyone, any questions from the board before I open it up to the public? Okay, anyone want to come up?
4 inches high?
No. No.
No, 4 inches.
At a height of 4 inches.
4? I thought
height
it
of
was
4
like
inches?
14 or 20.
4 inches?
To cut it?
To cut that down?
It's 14 inches
the
measured from the
measurement
ground.
of the
14.
12 inches is at
14 inches from the ground.
above the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, the mention of the diameter.
Oh,
You're
Okay,
talking
got
in
it, got it.
Now I understand.
It's like you can't cut down oh, got it, okay, got it.
Got it.
The problem they were discovering is that if a tree is cut down and you measure it at 54 inches and the tree is already down, they had a bit of a proof problem.
Right, okay, gotcha.
Okay. Is
Motion
there any
to
comment from the public?
I move
Motion
that
to
the hearing
close
be
public hearing?
closed.
Second.
Okay. Is there a motion to, what was this, adopt?
Local law number 1.
Yes, so moved.
Is local law number 1?
Second.
Okay.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Jack. Who seconded?
Yes, so. Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay.
750, that's fine.
7:50, we have a public hearing prohibiting parking on a portion of Riverside Drive. The chief, this was, Terry will talk about it, but someone had talked to us and the chief, and Chief Osborne had looked at the situation in terms of safety. The chief isn't here tonight, he has a school board meeting, but this is something that we talked about at a workshop and a board meeting, I believe, last month.
Right, and actually, it's a very minor change, because when I got the dimensions from the chief to write the local law, I saw in the book we already had no parking on the west side of Riverside Drive from Lafayette Avenue to a point 250 feet south. All they're really doing is moving or increasing it 30 feet.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay, we'll open this up for public comment. No public comment. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. This would be a local law also, right? Motion to adopt local law number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes, motion is carried. Okay, moving right along. Village Attorney, Parking Authority.
Right. You have the lease that the Parking Authority is proposing to enter into. It's a one-year lease for $750 per month, as the other terms in the lease. Since the village is actually the owner of the property, you certainly need to consent to any such lease.
Okay, Terry, I know that you had reviewed this lease with the Parking Authority. The work, and again, we had talked about Charles, in terms of savings, this was done by our village attorney to save some expenses. The term of the lease is 1 year, correct, Terry?
Right.
And there's no additional year?
Right.
We had dealt with that, potentially concerning, the development along Orange Avenue. We don't want to be in a situation where we're tied into a lease and we have to sustain damages to get out of that lease. So it's a 1-year lease. Okay, is any questions on that?
Have they moved in already?
No,
The sweet shop has moved in already? I thought they moved in already.
not without a lease. I think they're ready to move in.
Well, I know they shouldn't, but...
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, do we need a roll call? Okay, Mr. Falciglia,
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion is carried. Okay, audience participation. If anybody has any comments, please come on up.
Good evening. Roy Chudy, 16 Lonigan Drive. First, I would like to thank the following people for their attendance on March 2nd for the meeting that was held at the community center by the concerned citizens of Suffern, and that would be thank you, Mayor LaCorte, for attending, and Trustee Falciglia for attending, Trustee Meehan, and Mr. Sawicki, thank you very much for attending. Mr. Rella, thank you very much. And thank you, Elaine, for all your help on that day. Very shortly, I'd just like to remind the people I've mentioned, if they haven't done so already, to please submit in an email notification to us, as was requested by the committee, just what you would like to have implemented and what you think would be the best course of action for that day. That's all I have to say. Again, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you to everyone for putting that together. I think it was a positive forum.
I agree.
Jim Genatino, 2 Memorial Drive. Thank you, Gail. He forgot to mention you, but you set up most of it. That's okay, I got your back, Roy. I have a question. We just voted to lease out 120. Wouldn't it have made more sense to move the parking authority in there than paying the rent that we're paying where we are?
Possibly, but I would hope within a couple of months, all this may be moot. We're conducting a full review of, I think it's no secret, of trying to merge the parking authority back into the village, which I anticipate could save significant revenues and especially eliminate problems that can come out in the future. So the fact that this is done now, even if we moved, I'm trying to get a hold of the lease, actually, me and trustee Meehan, on 45 Lafayette. So even if we moved there, the question becomes, can you break it?
Yeah, well,
So-
I don't know what the term of that lease is, that's why I'm asking the question.
Well, that's a good question. It's probably $1,000 a month in rent. There's utilities. Supposedly, we pay a portion of the taxes. But me and trustee Meehan are conducting a overall comprehensive, I hate to use the word investigation because it sounds like
Say review,
something's
Charles,
wrong.
it sounds better.
Review of moving the parking authority into the village from a totally a cost-effective standpoint.
Yeah, and that's, again, as Charles and Jack has also been working on that. And again, obviously, the situation in the short term with potential development, which we are looking to move forward in the short run. And obviously, if that happens, there will be public informational meetings on all that. But again, yeah, we're looking to save money in the parking authority where we can.
Okay, my next question is regards to the position of recreation director. Is there a personnel list that you're interviewing from?
Yes, there is a personnel list. We requested the list from personnel. We're getting the list. I think it was requested yesterday. It should come in today or tomorrow, and
Okay.
then we're going to look to interview.
I was just
I know
wondering.
of some candidates who are on the list who've expressed interest, but yes, there is a civil service list associated.
Okay, otherwise I thought you were going to do a provisional possibly.
Sorry?
If there wasn't, I thought maybe you were going to do a provisional. Okay. And my last, it's kind of like a comment. The meetings have been switched around somewhat in the last few months. As you can see, a lot of the regulars aren't here. Would it be possible to send this message out through the email system that we have when there's a change?
Sure.
And also put it on the 2 bulletin boards, only when there's a change?
No, I understand that. I was surprised. Someone had told me that the meeting was still listed as Monday because we changed this when we scheduled it.
I did.
So I apologize for that, but yes, if anything is other than the typical Wednesday at 7 p.m., following Monday at 7:30, we will make sure we do that. Kathy, can you take a note of that? Please, thank you, no problem.
Okay, and my last question to Terry. I was informed today that a one-family house is allowed to have 1 boarder.
Yeah, I believe we still allow a border, yes. I'm not certain.
Is that in the book? Because I don't recall ever seeing that. Could you check that out, please?
Sorry?
Could you check it out?
Yeah. I know when they readopted the zoning law in 1993, there was a discussion about borders. I think they still allow 1 or 2 borders in it.
All right, just let me know, because I've never run across it and I've never heard it before.
Yeah. And
Thank
of course,
you.
a border is a specific thing. It it shouldn't become a multifamily by virtue of having a border.
Well, that was my question. It's a single family. Are they allowed that 1 boarder?
Yes, I believe so.
All right,
I'll
just let me know.
double-check it.
Look it up, please. Thank you.
We'll do that. Thank you. Okay, is there any other audience participation?
I just want to make one further comment on the parking authority. I just want to let everyone know that I applaud Bill Schoenleber. He's cooperating fully with this review, and he has really worked hard in trying to correct some of the deficiencies there and improve some of the deficiencies. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of that.
Thanks, Charles. Appreciate that. Okay, Police Department, the chief is not here, so I will go through his agenda. First, we have the Emergency Operation Plan, which we adopt every year. Everyone should have been given a copy of that, correct, at the workshop? So,
So moved.
okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. The next is a reimbursement for the county for overtime for Suffern officers during the Maccabee Games this past summer, $4,548.40.
So moved.
Adopt the resolution.
Oh, sorry, resolution number 58-2012.
Move resolution 581-2012.
Second.
Okay, I guess we'll do a roll call. Mr. Falciglia,
Yes.
Mrs. Abato.
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan.
Yes.
Mr. Meehan.
Yes.
I vote yes. And then similar, we have a reimbursement for the county for overtime for REACT, $1,218.40. That's resolution number 67-2013.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes?
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you, Chief. Okay, Department of Public Works, Mr. Sawicki.
2 pages.
Good evening, Mayor and the Board.
Good evening.
Requesting authorization for Mr. Scott Brown and Mr. Joe Hunt to attend the annual CSEAP Peer Training Refresher Course to be held in Albany, New York on April 16th and 17th. This course is provided by the CSEA at no cost to the village.
So moved.
That's our favorite thing, no cost
No
to the
cost
village.
What about transportation and all that?
That's,
All provided by the CSEA?
Yes. It's all
And lodging,
all the
meals?
lodging, meals, and everything.
Second.
Just their time would be
I thought they were walking.
the cost to the village is their time.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried.
Requesting authorization to reschedule 2 classes for Mr. Nick Fabricatori, which was previously approved by the board in March 2012 and scheduled for April 2012. This
So-
class,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
do you have enough information? You want me to go through the rest of it?
So moved. We're just
Okay,
changing
all in
dates.
favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried.
Requesting authorization for a total of 10 DPW employees from the Street Water and Wastewater Treatment Plant to attend the Excavation Safety Seminar to be held in Tarrytown, New York on March 19, 2013. The seminar is provided by Dig Safety New York at no cost to the village.
When is that, what day is that on?
March 19th?
Yeah, what day
It's
of
a
the week?
Tuesday.
Tuesday must be.
A Tuesday, so 10 employees are going at one time?
Yeah, we
Yes.
talked about this, yeah, it's not, we're able to work it out, it's from all over.
Yeah, it's from the 3 different departments, so it's,
But we have enough coverage?
yes.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
I am requesting authorization to attend a stormwater and sanitary sewer management seminar to be held in Rye Brook, New York on March 22nd, 2013. The seminar is being presented by Advanced Drainage Systems, Inc., at no cost to the village.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
I am requesting authorization to attend the Stormwater Design for Linear Projects course offered by Cornell Cooperative Extension in Milltown, New York on March 14, 2013. The total cost of this course is $225.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Requesting authorization to schedule an educational field trip to the water treatment and wastewater treatment facilities on March 20th, 2013 by the Nanuet High School Environmental Science class instructed by Mr. Chuck Barone.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Requesting authorization to increase the amount of the dewatering system project professional service agreement with O'Brien and Gear by $3,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Everyone knows that this is the next major milestone in the revamping, reconstruction of our wastewater treatment plant. So we're moving on target with that.
Yeah, I have an update on that. We just got approval from the DEC. So we
Excellent.
can
Go out to bid.
we can maintain that March 15th bid
Oh,
date.
excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let's see. Requesting authorization to proceed with the required FEMA buyout survey. This survey would be provided by Sparaco and Youngblood, PLLC of Harriman, New York. This proposal is in the amount of $1,200.
That's a really good price for that they
So
helped
moved.
us out.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Requesting authorization to proceed with the required FEMA buyout pre-demolition asbestos survey. These professional services will be provided by Quest, Inc. of Wappinger Falls, New York, at a cost of $7,108.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Falciglia.
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. And again, I want to thank the team that's worked hard to secure these buyouts. And obviously, even though the announcement's been made, I know that there's a significant amount of work until it's all done and the houses are demolished. But thank you all for your hard work. It's greatly appreciated.
Requesting authorization to schedule a public hearing to modify the local law number 11 of 2011. Currently, the law only requires a contractor to be licensed in Rockland County. The modification would require the contractor to be a Rockland County licensed plumber.
Charles, didn't we voted on this once before? This came up, I remember, with hooking up to the sewer and
Right.
all of that stuff.
Yeah, I did go back and, I looked at the minutes, and based on the minutes, it looked like we agreed that we would have that requirement, but somehow the requirement really only was that the contractor be a licensed
Contractor.
contractor in
plumber.
Rockland County, which that means you can have a landscaper
Correct.
or anybody, and we've run into problems. We just had another problem this week where,
But again, I think we talked about the fact that someone had to inspect it that was licensed.
well, we always inspect, or,
Right.
the
So
water and
what
sewer department
problems-
always inspects it.
Right, so
Right.
what problems are we running into?
Well, you have, they're not plumbers putting these systems in, and they're not necessarily done correctly, where you have to go back and constantly, instead of going out there and inspecting once or visiting the site once, you're constantly out there. Maybe you have to go out a number of times to ensure that it's done properly. And it really just presents an overall problem on a regular basis, where if you have a licensed plumber, we're not gonna have those problems. There's slope issues, there's clean out issues,
And
there's
we've
things.
had this on a daily basis, you said? A problem with this on a daily basis?
Well, on a regular basis, I mean necessarily a daily basis, but on a regular basis, whenever a situation arises, if a plumber isn't involved, there's generally an issue that we need to deal with. So, in talking with Randy in particular, and I believe Mike Stark feels the same way, that it really does take the burden off the village. It's, having a qualified person do this type of work. We're not breathing down their neck to ensure that they're doing the right thing, multiple trips out to the site. So that's where we stand with that.
Okay. So this would be a motion to set a public hearing.
So moved.
7:45?
Good.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Is this April the 1st, Mayor?
Yes, correct.
April 1st.
Opposed? I vote yes, motion is carried.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Village Clerk.
First thing on the agenda, Mayor, is the approval of the minutes of February the 4th.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. I'll do this next item. This is a resolution, I'm sure if everybody, there was an article in the paper today. There's an effort to move forward to rebuild the High-Tor Animal Shelter, and it's been requested by those active in the process that the village pass a resolution to that effect. So I'll read the proposed language. It is resolved, the Village of Suffern hereby supports the volunteer effort to raise funds to rebuild the High-Tor Animal Shelter. The county is in desperate need of a new animal shelter to support the homeless pets from all towns in the county. Does anyone have any questions on that, or?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, should I do it by roll call? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I vote yes, motion is carried. So unanimous
You
vote.
didn't have to.
Euro. Here, you want to do this? Okay, you'll fill that in? Can you just give me a copy of that tomorrow? Just-
You can have this and I'll.
Here, I'll give it to you. Okay, fine.
I have another one.
Perfect. The budget.
The budget, the village treasurer presented the tentative budget to me Monday, and now the tentative budget is in your hand to work with.
Okay, and again, as I said, that you'll have the remainder of the week, and probably we're looking Tuesday morning to post the preliminary budget online. So trustees, please take the opportunity to meet with Tom. He'll be back in tomorrow, the remainder of the week. You can set up times to meet with the various department heads. Again, during that time, Tom and I will also be going over the revenue figures in terms of, what we're looking at there. So by Tuesday, I think we'll have a pretty good idea of where we stand when we post it online. And then at that point, we'll have the public hearing as discussed. Was it March 20th, we said?
Yes.
20th or 21st? 20th.
20.
Okay. Is that it, Virginia?
Yes.
Okay. Finance Department, as I said, Tom is out. He'll be returning tomorrow. The first item is he's requesting a permission to return the sewer fund balance of the digester cover capital project in the current fiscal year to the sewer fund. This obviously is overall will go to the deficit reduction portion of our sewer deficit. So I believe the amount is $140,000, $141,000, and that is the proper thing when a project comes in under that. The balance should be returned from the originating fund. So obviously this was something that was discussed with both our auditors and the state auditors who are presently conducting their audit. So this obviously is it's a good thing and will help reduce our current deficit in the sewer plant.
So moved.
Second.
Do we need a roll call? Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, the second now we have request approval from the capital fund, the remaining balances on two projects for the 2006 infrared heating project and the 2006 straight drainage project. Total amount approximately $35,000 will be used as a transfer to fund upcoming budget. So obviously this money again is specifically going back to, since it goes back to the originating fund, that would be the general fund. So obviously this is $35,000 that's coming back into the general fund, which obviously is particularly helpful during the budget season. So that's part of what we're doing is cleaning up all odds and ends so we can have an accurate projection of where we are. So is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Falciglia?
Yes.
Mrs. Abato?
Yes.
Mrs. Corrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Meehan?
Yes.
I vote yes. Lastly, I'd like to say the auditors right now are finalizing the audit report for the fiscal year that ended May 31st, 2012. That will be finalized in the coming days. And then obviously will be available to anybody upon their request. And it will be available. Again, I just like to say for a note, the fund balance was in the black for the year, so we're very happy about that. And obviously, we're now 3/4 of the way through our current fiscal year, which is looking good. So I think the finances are very strong, and I applaud everybody here and all our department heads and employees for continuing to provide an excellent level of service in tough economic times, so that we don't increase the burden on our local taxpayers. So good work to everybody.
Mayor,
Sorry?
we're supposed to have an exit interview with the auditors.
Correct.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that that's not missed, that they just,
No,
you know,
100% there. And
I mean, I've told Tom a couple of times, but I don't know where they're coming from, if the
I
guy
think
is
if you
far
want
away.
also, if you want, you could reach out. There's no reason why you can't reach out directly to the auditors to set something up.
Okay.
If you'd like to do that. You have their numbers, right?
I can go over to Modansky's house.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So no, yeah. I mean, that's definitely part of it, but feel free, you and Deputy Mayor Corrigan on the committee, I would just call him up, and it would probably be himself and two other representatives from the firm to conduct that interview. Okay, Trustee Meehan.
Actually, what my second, I had a discussion with a constituent today. It's one of actually very dedicated constituent, and he had asked about the project creating emergency access to the West Ward across across the railroad tracks, and I was wondering what the status of that was. I haven't heard anything about it in a few months. I don't want to catch you offhand.
No, it's no problem. Again, it's something that we've talked about, that we're looking at funding. It had been something that we had thought about for the environmental benefits project pursuant to our consent agreement with the DEC, but I believe that was not, that's something that was acceptable. So again, we're looking for alternative solutions. One thing that held that up is obviously dealing with New Jersey Transit. They were unclear originally about, what we would be permitted to do and what they would allow to be done. So again, we are moving forward that. I think that's something that's very important. But again, it is a matter of securing funding and continuing to move forward through something that seems pretty simple, but is more complex when you're dealing with 2 states. I gave you those?
Yes.
Yeah, especially New Jersey Transit, when your last name is New York. The other item is the conserved fire occurred on February 6, 2007. That's 6 years ago. And during these 6 years, the people of Suffern have endured the rather ugly sight of the burned out building. Now, the owner stated that once he had his zone change, which he received several months ago, he would demolish that building while that building still stands. And, I think the Village of Suffern has been very good to that owner. He requested a zone change, and not only did he request a zone change, he would have been, under the normal zone change, he would have had the right to build 23 units. But he didn't just want the normal zone change, he wanted waivers in the side yard, in the front yard, the backyard, and the village board gave him all these things. And instead of being able to construct 23 units, he can construct 48. Do the math. It's millions of dollars. And so I'm very disappointed in him, and I wanted to bring that to the public's attention, and I have filed a complaint with the building department about that situation. That's all I can say.
Okay. I do know that they were granted final site plan approval, and I think right now are before the building department looking to get a building permit for that project. So I'm sure that will happen. But thank you for your comments. Is there anything else from the board members? What I would like to do is, obviously here in Suffern, we are a big family, and when one of us suffers or goes through pain, we all do. And 2 weeks ago, we lost a longtime Suffern resident, father and husband of one of our beloved employees. Michael Chiaffi passed away after a long illness. And, our hearts are all with Joanne and her family. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to ask that we adjourn this meeting in memory of a great man, great father, great husband, and a great friend of the Village of Suffern.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Want to record that everybody seconded that.
Motion is carried. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.